When you get ready to plant transplants versus seeds, you might go to your garden center and get something like this. That's going to be plants that have already been partially grown, so they've gotten a jump start, so they're a little bit taller. So you're going to transplant them from here into the soil or into your container. So you'll get a pack like this from your garden center.
So what you'll see when you get a transplant is this is a pepper, and you'll have the roots kind of tightly bound in the bottom, most likely, if the plant's this big. And something that you always want to make sure you do before you plant it is to completely water it. And then also you'll want to break open this ball really gently and try not to disturb the roots as much as you can, so that once you plant it, you'll notice how these roots are kind of free now. Once you put it in the ground, they'll be able to spread more easily, and then you'll get a hardier, stronger plant. So in this area, I could probably fit about 4 or 5 plants. So I'd put one here, 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 and here. And imagine that when you put one plant in, it would get about this big. Another plant, this big. Another plant, this big, and this big. So actually, you could have a whole salsa garden just in this square, actually.
So once you determine how big your garden is going to be, then you need to prepare your growing area. So we are going to break into the soil so we can remove any weeds or grasses or anything else growing there, so we can have all that space dedicated to what we're planting for our plants to grow in.
We broke the soil up and kind of aerated it, but then also we had some larger clumps. And so after we pulled out all of the plants that we don't want in there, then we break up the soil. And the reason why we want the soil in smaller clumps is so that your roots are touching as much soil as possible. So the finer your soil is, the more surface area will touch the roots, if that makes sense. So it doesn't have to be totally like sand, like I would definitely plant into this. But if you have some big clumps, then you want to make sure you break them down so that you basically help give your plants little roots a head start. Yeah, if this were the only growing space that you were doing, probably this 2x2, then I would try and fit as many plants as possible and kind of push the plant maybe a little further in its comfort zone. Yep. So maybe we would do 2 here and 2 there. If you had more space, maybe I would only put 1 here and 1 there. Because the more space they have, they're like us, you know, where they want to stretch out. And if there's somebody too close, then it might limit their growth a little bit. But it just depends on how much space you have.
So now we're going to get ready to plant our pepper plants. We already broke up the root ball, so the roots are nice and loose. Put them into our hole. And bring the loose soil around them. Next, we want to put our label in so we know what's growing.